and assuredly, and everybody had a chance to get hidden. And I always believed that I would beat everybody back to base once I found them. And I would start counting. I'd start 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. But you see, I was counting slow because there was a change going on inside of me while I was counting when I would play hide and go seek. You see, I would begin to believe as I was counting, and I would usually be up against a tree or maybe my mother's wrought iron fence thing, and I'd be counting, but I'd be believing. And I'll tell you what I was believing. I was literally believing that I was going to have a bionic man's eyes when I turned around. I was going to have Superwoman speed when I turned around. I was going to have Shazam's instinct to find the enemy. Catch them before they could get to base. That's why I counted so slowly, because I was believing. You see, there's a correlation between what I saw and what I believed that had turned on his head. Because by the time I got to 85, 90, 95, 100, I was locked up, ready to go. Don't. I was ready for him. But let me tell you what I saw. What I saw when I turned around was a sad and lonely backyard. What I saw when I turned around was an empty swing set. A place void of life. But what I believed was that I was not alone. And I'd start kind of pacing. And then I'd be like, okay, Ruggie, he's going to kill me. Ruggie is behind Miss Quince's car over there. Okay? Yeah. But before I get to Ruggie, I got to get to Kenneth. And Kenneth, no, there are 2 more people over here before I even get to Ruggie. I was believing in spite of what I saw in front of me. I was believing that I was not alone. Okay, so that's a child's game. And I did win a lot. Well, let's move 20 years later, when my husband was T-boned by a drunk driver, and his car rolled over 6 times into an elementary school. When I got to the scene and saw that car upside down, what I saw was devastating. Broken metal, glass, blood. A car that no one could survive. And if I just stayed with what I saw, I probably would have fainted. But you see, belief is immersed in the DNA of the believer in such a fashion that we can see these things and believe that God is going to take care of us. God is going to deliver us. And it doesn't mean that we don't cry. It doesn't mean that we're not scared. But it means that we have such a power of belief upon us, we can begin to pray. We can begin to hope. We can begin to call on the Spirit to give us the steady hand. We can believe that God is our refuge and a very present help in the time of trouble.